Welcome to Strong Kids, the Mary Motivates podcast that features Connellsville area school students who have risen above, as well as those who are working to make a dream come true, who make life better for others, and who model strength of character. I'm your host, Mary Drelizak. With us today is senior Deven Anderson. Thanks for being here today. Deven, I met you during the last Strong Kids podcast that we did, and you videotaped it for your film production class. The topic was kindness. I know this is a subject, especially as it relates to bullying, that impacted you. Why is that?
When I was in elementary school, it started clear back in, say, kindergarten. And, I was bullied the whole way through elementary school. So when the topic came up of somebody sticking up for that, it, hit close to home because they are sticking up for it back when I was going through it, nobody did.
Right. Right. So the kids that were here, the middle school students, being able to have a voice and speaking up for kindness, really touched you. So thank you for recognizing that as well. So when did bullying start for you in your life?
Bullying started, I would have to say, probably when I was in mid-first grade, maybe. But, there was nitpicking, before that. But it wasn't as severe as it was when I started to play football.
And what happened then?
The coaches were very favoritism-based team. If you didn't have the right last name, you didn't have the most money in the world, then you didn't play. So there was games I would sit out for the whole entire game and just sit there. There was actually one day where I took my helmet and pads off and laid it on the field and said, if you're going to use me, what's the point of me running around this whole entire field for nothing?
Right. You felt like you weren't valued at that time. And so you played football at an early age. And why was that so important to you?
I guess it was a way to get my aggression out. Some people resort to violence or something of that nature, and I just wanted something where it was kind of giving that aggression what it wanted, but it was a productive way of putting the aggression out.
Very good. So it was a good outlet for you. So why did you leave the sport?
I kind of lost interest. I noticed who the star players were going to be. And I guess when I got to junior high, I just realized that was going to happen again. So I said I lost all interest for it.
Okay. When you got to junior high or even in school, did you experience bullying there as well?
Yeah, because when the coaches started, all the players started to too. So it was just basically a chain reaction until it was every day in school until one day. I just said I've had enough.
Can you share an example maybe of something that...
There was one situation in particular I can remember. I have asthma. So when I was running around the field and stuff, sometimes I would get tired out or something like that where I needed a drink of water. And I remember this one coach yelling at me, "Get back on this field or I swear to God you will not play in the next game." So I went over and I got a drink and everything. And I remember they put the biggest kid up against me for a position just so I wouldn't play.
So when you were in school and you were being bullied in school, how bad did it get? What happened to you? What did you do?
It happened all the time, on the bus, everywhere. Basically, I got the nickname bench warmer because of the coach not playing me standing on sidelines and not being able to show what I could do. So there is one thing I want to throw in here. When they put me into a scrimmage game and they put me at nose tackle, I got 3 sacks, 2 fumbles, and 1 tipped interception. And I shocked everybody on the field, but the coaches still picked the other person instead. Right.
You had the talent, and they weren't using it or seeing it, recognizing it. You shared a little bit about a day that you left school, and it was especially difficult for you that day when you went home. But when you left school on a particular day, tell me a little bit about that.
I left school early one day because, like, I remember this one situation in particular that caused me to go home that day. Was everybody started to laugh at me because I tripped on the football field the previous practice, and like it got through the whole entire cafeteria and everybody was laughing at it. So I decided that I wanted to go home and just get away, I guess. And that day, it was like a very dark day. Like, I was thinking, this world would be better off if I wasn't here. Everybody would have somebody new to pick on or something of that nature. Until finally I said, you know what, people are going to pick on me, either if I'm rich, poor, most athletic, most intelligent, somebody's still going to be the one picking on you. So you realize that it's just something that it's going to be their issue. It's really not going to be your issue. But you mentioned that your parents were always there for you, raising you up. What did your parents say to you after that really bad day you had in school? Well, they found me in my room. That was back when I had a bed on the floor. Like, it was a wooden bed, of course, but I was laying in my room. I didn't talk to, like, I usually sit down and tell them about my day and everything. But I just took my stuff off and went straight in my room. So my dad worked late that night, so I was in my room for maybe 2 hours or something like that. And like, Mom and Dad both came in and they were telling me, we love you, we know what you're going through, don't listen, just stick up for yourself if need be. They said, don't be the one to, like, bring on the fight, but always be the one to know that you did the right thing in the right situation. Very good. So you always knew that you had the love and support of your parents behind you, and you chose to express that in a permanent way. What did you do? I got a tattoo on my left arm. It says "Family First." It's one of, I think they call it like ambigrams, and I got it so, like, my family is always with me even if I move far away. Very good, very good. It's a very cool tattoo as well. If you turn your arm one way, it says family. You turn your arm the other way, it says first. So that's a pretty cool thing. Your dad was in a band, and you got to sing with him. Tell me about that. What was that like for you? It was my escape. Ever since I was about 4 years old, like, actually maybe even before that, I was always the type of guy where my dad went to play in the band to make extra money. So, like, I would go up on stage, standing about 3 feet high, and the mic stand, like, bent almost the whole way down. And I would be singing, like, Trace Atkins, I can't remember, Big and Rich, I think, was another one. But I would be singing these songs, not knowing what they're actually meaning. But I would just get up there and sing, and then, like, seeing the reaction of those people is what helped me realize that I do have a place here. That's right. You have a talent. You definitely have a talent. You want to make your parents proud, I know. What is your biggest dream? My biggest dream is to buy them a house. And we live in a single-wide trailer. Back when they bought the house, my mom was told she couldn't have kids. So they bought a 2-bedroom trailer thinking, okay, this is going to be good enough for us. A year later, I came along. So my room is very small due to that. But because they weren't expecting a kid. So my biggest dream is, they talk about how much they want to get out of this place, want to move down south. And I just want to be able to give that to them. Very good. And in your biggest dream, in your world, what would be the way that you could make that happen for them? Singing on stage. Halfly is because singing was a big part of my life back then, got me through a lot and stuff like that. And, there's an old saying that you always want to be like your dad. So that's right. Follow in his footsteps. Mm-hmm. And you have a talent that is yet unheard, and I'm really rooting for you on that.
And so, as a singer, what type of music are you drawn to?
I would have to say like classic rock, country, a little bit of slower hip hop, but not so much. Like the newer stuff I do not like very much. Now Ed Sheeran, stuff like that, I kind of relate to his message, just don't like how the songs are arranged. But yeah, like classic, like Leonard Skinner, Motley Crue, stuff like that, I would have to say was like my favorite bands growing up.
Very good. But you also like country too. Let me just ask you, like, is it the message within the songs, or what is it about the music that resonates in your life?
I would have to say it's probably the message. Like, most of the music I listen to is either upbeat music, like upbeat country or something like that, or something that relates to what I've been through. So I know in my mind that somebody else has been through that situation and they've turned it into a positive outcome. So, like, it gives me hope that I could do the same thing.
Today, what are your plans after school?
Well, I have a big surgery coming up, and it's July 10th or something like that. And what it is, it's a full reconstruction of my foot. So basically they go in, they break every bone in my foot. I'll be in a cast for 8 weeks, boot for 4, and then 6 weeks of physical therapy. But once the right one heals, the left one has to get the same thing done to it. So I'm going to be down and out for a good while. But I do want to pursue singing, get a job, of course, to try to make enough money to go to like a big record label or something like that. But yeah, that's my biggest dream.
Very good, very good. So during that recovery time, you're going to have, I think in a way it could end up being a blessing for you. You could really use that time to hone your craft and learn new things too at the same time. So that's going to be it'll be another challenge, but something that I think was going to work good for you in your favor. What do you want kids that have been bullied to know?
You can overcome this. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. And I hear many people, even nowadays, with like teenagers and stuff, saying nobody cares about me. There is. There's always at least one person. And like I said, mine was my parents. My parents were always there. When nobody else was, they were. Literally, like, in life, you gotta basically put your life around your friends and your family. Now, sure, you'll get into arguments and stuff like that, but if it's a major argument, then it wasn't destined to be friends. If it's a minor, get over it because life's too short.
That's right. There are people that have your back, and there are people that have your back, so that gives you strength. And I think also that just having that confidence in knowing that your life is going somewhere and you're in control of the direction it goes. Only you and no other voice can determine where you land and where you make it to. And you're using your talent, continue to use your talent for good. I know big things are going to come your way. What's your message to all kids?
Never judge, like the old saying, never judge a book by its cover. You don't know what that person's story is. You don't know what that person's going through at home at their own personal expense. Or say, for example, somebody is being bullied in school, but when they go home, their parents ain't there for them. So it's always go up to that person that's sitting by themselves, tell them to come over, see, sure, they might be a little shy at first, but if you let them open up to you, you'll see that it's amazing what these people know and do.
Can make a new friend, someone that you wouldn't have known otherwise. Thank you, Deven, for being with us and for your courage in sharing what you share with us today. You're a strong kid for your ability to rise above and to so courageously speak to give others hope and to let them know they're not alone. Thank you for being with us.
My pleasure.